Thinking about it. YouTube's on. Perfect. Hello, everyone. So welcome to the first of two, I think, Temple Talks that we'll be having in August this month. Just make sure comments are on. Yes, lovely. Hello, everyone. So for those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Rebecca Burgess, and I'm the founder and the Mother Priestess of the Temple of Cornwall. Now, these Temple Talks we do usually twice a month, and this is our time to come into sacred space together, whether you're watching me live, hello lovelies, or catching me on the replay. And these are usually like 20 minutes, half an hour at most, where we all pick a topic together, usually done previously on my Instagram stories. So if you're not following me there, go and give us a follow so you can have a say on what we talk about. And this week we're how to live, what that means, how you can do that, and why you'd want to do that, or the reasons. So you can just kick back, put this on while you're cooking tea, listen to it as you would a podcast. You do whatever you want with this, my lovelies. This is all yours. Just a bit of a pre-warning for Facebook and YouTube sometimes. Recently, Facebook hasn't been showing me any comments that come onto my videos, which is really helpful. So yeah, if you've left me a comment on there and it looks like I'm ignoring it, please know I'm not. I'm just genuinely not seeing it. So, lovelies. Ooh, I've gone pitch black on Instagram. What has happened? There we go. It feels like Mercury retrograde right now. Everything's just going slightly skew. Anyway, let's begin. So, what is living in rhythm with nature? Now, it sounds kind of like surface level, really simple to understand, but it's the intricacies that come with it that I really love to explore with people and kind of go on adventures with as well. So living in rhythm with nature is being so finely attuned to the movements, to the ebbs and the flows, to the rhythms, the dance of nature and the circle, also the wheel of the year, and understanding the role that we play in that, how we're affected by that, and how we can best care and tend for the nature around us at certain different times of the year. It's those, I'm sure all of you people watching will get this because you're my sort of people. But if you're like really familiar with a tree, so like my neighbour's magnolia tree is like right opposite the window here. And I can tell by like the shade of green of those leaves as to whether it's going to rain or not today. I'm sure, hoping most of you, it's not just me, I'm hoping that most of you can have some sort of kind of relationship like that with some aspect of nature. And if not, then that's why you're here. You're here to learn. So yeah, living in rhythm with nature is that where you can, rather than kind of observing nature from afar and just kind of thinking, oh, it's snowing or it's raining, I better bring the washing in. You can kind of be a part of the dance, be a part of the tango, the waltz of nature. You can understand why it's snowing, both physically and spiritually for you and the ground, the land that you're on at the time. You can better understand why the waves are really angry one day and really calm and serene the next. It's all drawing you in, for you are a part of it, and understanding how your emotions are affected by nature. And sometimes vice versa. I wish I had paid attention more in A-level English literature, because there's this, is it a prophetic fallacy? Basically, it's, somebody's writing a scene about a woman who's really angry and she's stormed out on her lover and she's marching across the moors, and all of a sudden it starts to thunderstorm. That's what I think is a prophetic fallacy. But that's, I can see comments on Facebook. Oh, can I not? Okay, I can see the comment. I can't see who commented it. Marry me? Well, I don't know you, I don't think. Thank you for the offer. Can I not see these? Right, we've got some major... What is going on today? Instagram's just shut off on its own. Live video has ended. It better not have done. What is going on? What the hell is going on? It's not showing me... It's showing me like the words, like the comments, but not who's commented them. But Insta Live is not behaving for me. Thank you, whoever said that. Yeah, it's not behaving for me. So let's not share that, like, yes, discard that media. Apologies about this, folks. We will be back to regular service promptly. Checking connection. Might be the problem. It's weird that Facebook and YouTube would still be going. Oh, wait, I just see the name Steph. Hello, Steph. Thank you, lovely. Was it you that asked me to marry you? Because I love you very much, my dear, but that would breach some student-teacher boundaries there. While we're having this small interlude, no, I can't focus on two things at once right now. I was going to say we talk about something else, but I don't have the mental capacity for that today. Okay, well, maybe Instagram isn't meant to be. That's not working. How rude. The audacity. Is it Mercury retrograde? Let me have a quick Google, because this is feeling very astrologically spooky right now. And I was just talking to somebody yesterday about how, because apparently not apparently, because I was born during a Mercury retrograde, apparently that means that they don't have any effect on me. And I want to vehemently disagree with that. That is absolute codswallop. Is it a Mercury retrograde? Oh, sod off. Apologies, people. We really will get back to it as soon as we can. And once I've checked Mercury retrograde. Where are we? We're August, aren't we? Oh, it's not until August 20th. Well, that's depressing. This is just my life for now then. Okay, I'm writing Instagram off. Never mind. So who have we got left then? Are these going to work? YouTube's fine. Hello. Perfect. I have Merc and Mars retrograde. I still got to see these comments. I don't know who I'm replying to. This is very... I think I'm just going to have to reply to comments kind of like at the end, because I can't see a thing. So sorry for this, everyone. This is the most unprofessional temple talk I think I've ever done. Okay. I am going to have to come back to the comments at the end, I'm afraid, because I can only see like half of the latest comment, and it's not telling me at all who is commenting. But lots of love to you all. I wish I could be more proactive on here with you, but instead you're just going to sit here and listen to me talk about living in rhythm with nature. Finally, getting back on track. So yes, I'll be in the comments at the end, like typing away rather than talking. So apologies for that. So where were we? I think we'd covered what do I mean by living in rhythm with nature? So the benefits of living in rhythm with nature, or in tune with nature, however you want to phrase it. There's so many that are so like personal and so deeply sentimental for each individual, but kind of generally living in rhythm with nature has a massive positive effect on both your mental and physical health as well. Now, disclaimer, not a psychiatrist or a medical expert of any kind. I'm just a woman with hypochondria who is well informed on her own maladies. But when it comes to mental and physical health, don't take what anybody on the internet says it is. Go see a doctor or a psychiatrist. This ain't the place for that. But if you know your symptoms and you know yourself well enough, and you know that what you're experiencing is mild in terms of mental health, being out in nature can definitely help prevent some forms of mental illness, especially on the milder end of the spectrum of mental illness. When it comes to physical health, depending where you go in nature, if you're like, I'm very lucky to live in the shadows of a lovely tor here, so I can go and get very unpolluted, very pure air at the top of there. Very privileged, very lucky. So my lungs and my throat receive a lot of healing from that, and both spiritual healing as well as physical. And it's this, I think that the mental health or wellness comes from having that source of connection. Again, it depends on kind of what your mental illness is and why it's prolific, for want of a better word. But it can definitely help to kind of keep you grounded, keep you present, and keep you connected, whether that's, like I said, my neighbour's magnolia tree. I have a weird sentimental attachment to the tree, but it's not weird because you all know what I'm talking about. so that keeps me quite centered and focused. Plus, it's nice to know when I'm getting distracted, because we're on my desk at the moment, not at the altar. So I know if I'm getting distracted and I start thinking, that's a really pretty tree, but I should be working. So yes, lots of mental and physical health benefits from living in rhythm with nature. And then the connection with nature that we forge through spending so much time in becoming an integral part of nature. And by integral, humans have this weird thing to think that we're better than anything else in nature. And I hate to burst your little human egoic bubble, but that's not the case. There's nothing predominantly special or not special about us. We just are nature. So yes, I don't mean to imply that we are integral because we are the, gods of nature or whatever. I know some people get very funny about that. Let's see if the comments have randomly started working. No, I can just see the word but. Yeah, it'll have to be at the end then. So sorry, guys. So when we connect in with nature on this very kind of, I want to say primal way, we can tap into the medicine that's local to us. So whether that be, mugwort might grow prolifically near you, and that could be the medicine that you need or that the earth needs at that time. Or it could be the medicine as in the energies of that land. Perhaps you live on a ley line or close to a ley line, kind of discovering the history of that ley line, as in like what happened to it. Like I used to work in a crystal shop on Tintagel High Street, and it was part of the opening up, if you were like lone working that day, if you were opening up on your own, it was part of the morning procedure where we'd have to seine a ley line that ran through the back of the shop, because some horrible battle had happened on that ley line eons ago. So we had to cleanse it every morning, and you could definitely tell the difference sales wise, I suppose, because it was all like the crystals at the back of the shop and more like the tacky gift wary things at the front. And people, if we hadn't cleansed, if it was too busy and we'd forgotten, people just wouldn't see or acknowledge the back of the shop. So you'd just be selling tat all day wondering why, and then you're like, oh shit, I forgot to cleanse the ley line. So we'd brush off and do it. So yeah, connecting in with the local medicine, the energy of the land as well. You can get real specific about this. So, I live in a very specific sacred part of Cornwall, that has its own rich history and its own kind of movements and personalities, if you like. Or you could just generally, if you live, city centre Truro, it might be easier for you to connect with Cornwall on a whole rather than like your individual plot of land, if you like. Another benefit of living in rhythm with nature is that we get to connect with the deities of the land as well. So like in Cornwall, we've got so many, but that's the Spirit of Cornwall, mermaid priestesses of Lyonesse, Canonos, Ker, Morgana Le Fay, Merlin, Cornish Fae, Cornish Knockers, and a myriad of others, I'm sure. And connecting with the deities of the land doesn't necessarily mean that we should be worshipping those deities or working with them, especially if you live on colonized land, and you are not native to that land. This isn't me saying that you should go and worship those deities, just having an awareness of them and giving them offerings in a way that feels right to the people that can work with those deities and do work with them on the regular as well, just to thank them for letting you live on the land in what I presume is relative peace, but I don't know. But if you're native to the land that you're born on, that you're living on, sorry, then connecting with the deities of the land can become even more substantial and powerful for you. And it's a way to metaphysically help to heal the earth as well. That the more connected we are with nature, the deities and the elementals of our immediate land that we're on. Sorry if you can hear me banging on the table. I'll try not to do that so much. Where was I? Sorry, I just finished some lunch before I came up here. I forgot time. I know everything's broken. Nothing's working. And it's not even Mercury retrograde. Don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, where was I? Yes, connecting with, becoming one with nature, becoming like an integral piece of nature and the deities and elementals of the land is a great way to begin to help heal the earth on a metaphysical level, as what, on top of whatever physical things you might be doing, whether it's zero waste or you've got an electric car, whatever it may be. And this is because for so many centuries at this point, we've not acknowledged Earth. We've not acknowledged Mother Earth, apologies, and our place upon it. We've kind of presumed, like I said, that human egoic bubble, we've kind of presumed that like, oh yeah, there's like liquid dinosaur fossils down there. That's definitely ours to dig down into Mother Earth and take. Or you know what? Let's just pollute the whole damn thing. It doesn't matter. Let's do what we want. So kind of acknowledging that Mother Nature is, or like, you know, any deities of the land itself is not ours. It is not our property. We might have a mortgage that says we own this plot of land, but it's, in the bigger sense of the word, that's all part of the matrix, isn't it? That's not real. Really, it's real in the physical sense, but you can't own something that could never be yours to begin with. We are a part of her. She's not a part of us. And you get that greater sense of awareness when you begin living in rhythm with nature. So those are just some of the benefits, but you will find, like I said, you will have your own individual benefits that come with it that you will hold so dearly and sentimental to you. So a couple of really, really simple ways to get you started on living in rhythm with nature. So my favorite thing to do, with whether this be with like private students or my priestess students when the time's right, I like to get them to journal for a whole year in nature. You know, if they're somewhere where they can't connect in, so let's say, you know, you've got like a city centre flat in London and there's not much nature around you, how do you then connect with it? Yeah, you can imagine it, you can watch Lord of the Rings and, you know, do it that way, but it's not the same, is it? So what I get them to do is journal for a whole year. And this is a big investment in, I was going to say time. It's not, it's literally for like 2 to 5 minutes a day. Yeah, it's not that big investment of time, really. It's an investment in effort, I would say, but totally worth it if you want to have all those benefits and so much more as well. So you would go to a place in nature near you. So whether that be, you know, your garden, if you're lucky enough to have one, if you've got a plant on a balcony or a, you know, a window box, or like me, if you live next door to a tor, you can just go there, you can just nip up there. So whatever your local nature may be, it has to be somewhere you can go to every day, even if it's just you walk through this particular park on your way to work. Yeah, closest to you and very easily accessible. Go to there, and instead of just like, you know, barreling through kind of listening to whatever true crime podcast you've got going on, notice the nature around you and just journal on it. It doesn't have to be then and there, you know, especially if like you're off to a meeting or something, but you just remember it, like, you know, pick a particular tree in the park, for example, and write about how the colours of the leaves and what was the weather like and was it windy and, you know, what had happened recently. Did it look like there was maybe like an event there the night before that might have disturbed the tree, or perhaps the tree enjoyed it? I don't know what could have happened. And just exploring those ideas. And as the year goes on, you'll be able to really witness, acknowledge, and be aware of those tiny little differences that let you know what's going on in nature and how that affects you as well. Don't just say, yeah, the leaves are really green. If that's what you want to say, yeah, the leaves are really green and it made me feel fantastic. It made my lungs feel healthier. It made me feel brighter for my day. I felt so much happier for looking at the veins in the green leaves on my tree. So journaling in that way, that can just be it for the day, like 2 lines. Doesn't have to be this big, long, like Edgar Allan Poe-esque piece of scripture or anything like that. Another thing you can do, or as well as you can do these all together or just pick and choose, whatever you like, but is to choose one spot in nature that you can go to, again, somewhat regularly. This doesn't have to be like an everyday thing, but maybe like on your days off, but somewhere close enough to you, maybe like a 20-minute car ride away at most. But choose one spot in nature and make it your own space. Be aware that it is probably going to be in a community space in some sense, that other people will gather there. So don't make it too much your own. Don't, like, you know, set up a tent and a sofa and a swimming pool or anything, but make it your own energetically, but make sure that that is protected as well. Like your own energy that's there is protected. But tend to this land. It doesn't even have to be spiritual. Tend to it. You know, if it's you know, your local playing field, if that's the nearest bit of nature that you've got, if it's looking a bit sparse sometimes in summer, go plant some grass seeds. perhaps some wildflower seeds around the edges as well, but tend to it and care for it and make sure that it's loved, and leave offerings to it if that resonates with you. Again, only leave natural offerings, so like petals, cacao, stuff like that. And if you're going to leave seeds, please make sure that they're native to your specific bit of land. Yeah, so bear all that in mind with leaving offerings. Yeah, tend to it, care for it, and just, you don't even have to journal. You can just go there once a week, sow some seeds, feel the love that you have for Mother Earth and therefore this piece of land, this piece of nature, and just, yeah, be completely enamored with the space that you're co-creating with Mother Earth, or rather helping Mother Earth bring back to life, bring back to awareness. It's because it's this awareness of nature that keeps us so in tune and living in rhythm with it. And the last thing you can do to connect in, or to begin living in rhythm with nature, is to ask the gods and the guides for help. So I've written down just 3 here that I personally work with for help. You know, we all get out of the habit of doing things sometimes. So I obviously work with Mother Earth a lot to do that. And I know there's like Gaia, who's the Grecian. So if you can hear that motorbike outside, or dirt bike, it's probably going off to the moorlands around the Tor, which is super fun. Yes, Mother Earth. I know there's like Gaia, who's Grecian, and there's, you know, plenty of other like Earth Mother figures, which in Celtic, if you are Celtic and watching this, we're a Celtic temple, so we would work with care. But because we want to kind of, you know, it's not just Cornwall or the Celtic Isles that are kind of being damaged by humans, it's the whole world. I like to work with Mother Earth as a whole. You know, it's not specific to a, you know, a different Parthenon every time. Spirit of Cornwall, obviously, because I live in Cornwall, I love Cornwall. My whole life is devoted to everything spiritual in Cornwall. So yeah, working with the Spirit of Cornwall is a really good way to bring up those energies of that Cornish spiritual energy that can lie dormant sometimes, just if we kind of forget to worship in those places, or forget to do ceremony, or even just acknowledge the beauty of a certain place. And I also like to work with Kononos, because he's my boy, he's my man, I love him. And he's like the wild god. We've done I think we've done 2 or 3 temple talks on him in the past. He's a really good one to connect in with if it's somewhere very kind of wild and feral that you want to connect into. He's really good with that. Before I move on, yeah, there's so many comments that I just cannot see. Let me refresh. Yes, reload site. I don't care. I might lose you for a second. I hope not. No, do you know what I can do? I figured it out. Get Mensa on the phone. I'm a genius. I can just open up another tab. Look at all those comments. Right. Oh, let's have a look. Okay. Steph, are you still watching? This is very weird. Okay, I'm going to come back to that at the end, because I don't really know what's going on. Right, my lovelies. So yes, what is living in rhythm with nature? We've covered that. Why you would want to, how you can. So that's journaling for a year in a very specific part of nature. It's tending to a little part of nature, whether that be, you know, a plant box, or a whole field, whatever it may be, and using your guides and your gods to help you as well. Now, if living in rhythm with nature is something that you really, really want to learn much more deeply than I can cover in this, you know, 20-minute, half an hour jobby here, then do look into taking our priest or priestess of Cornwall training. Registration's open till I think the 15th of September, so you've got a month and a little bit left to apply. And we cover this in so much depth. Every single module is learning how to live in rhythm with the nature that's around you, and obviously Cornish as well, but you don't have to be living in Cornwall to connect with the energies, so don't worry about that if you're further afield. But yeah, if you're on Instagram died, didn't it? Where were we? I'm so sorry, I'm so distracted today. Yes, if you're interested in that course, then you can find the details and the links straight to the page on the website. Oh, it's both Instagram and YouTube. Cool. So Facebook and YouTube. It'll be in the description wherever you're viewing this, unless it's Instagram, because that just cocked right up, didn't it? Lovely. But yeah, do go check that out, and we can arrange a discovery call and get to know each other. You can learn more about the course. It'd be very fun, very lovely. It's always very exciting to accept new people on. Summer Lovelies, when will the next? It's my birthday next week, and then my mum's the week after. So the next Temple Talk will likely be the 23rd of August. Although I feel like I've just booked something in for that today and forgot to write it down, but I don't think I did. So it's all good. So yes, 23rd of August. Maybe, I think the week before, I'll be posting the voting links on my Instagram stories, so you can decide between two options what you want me to talk about that week. But other than that, we've got a whole back catalogue of playlists on YouTube as well, and they'll be floating around somewhere on our Facebook page as well. So do go have a look at those if you're missing the Temple Talks and want to learn more. But in the meantime, my lovelies, sending you so much love and so many Cornish blessings your way. Lots of love to you, Facebook. I will be sure to check those comments in just a second, so you hold on there. And YouTube, thank you so much for putting up with all the technological atrocities that happened today. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Lots of love to you. Bye.